So a few months ago I upgraded my wheels and tires. I went with the Method Racing NV305s in bronze, wrapped with Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws, 285/7017. Prior to doing this, my research led me to believe that there would be minimum rub and that I would need to clean up some of the plastic in the wheel well. There are even guys on the forums that claim that there's no rub at all on their stock vehicles. Any of these guys telling you that there's no rub has never taken their truck off-road. Some of these guys even suggest to get a special wheel alignment to address the rub. I prefer to do it the correct way, so in addition to remolding the plastic wheel well with a heat gun, I also ended up performing my own CMC. The end result is a better ride that I can trust won't be an issue on or off the road. In this video, you'll see me perform my own cab mount chop, or CMC for short. This includes creating a custom plate by hand. Stick around till the end to hear my thoughts on my driving experience, since my truck is a manual. So I'm not a professional, so this video goes to show that any person can attempt to do this. So right here I'm measuring about 3.5 inches from the frame to mark my cut line. Then I mark a general area where the cab mount causes the rub. It's about a ½ inch of the cab mount that is cut away. That's the part that causes the rub. Now I'm cutting the plastic liner to get access to the pinch welds. You'll need to start cutting the pinch welds into tabs so it's easier to hammer and fold over. So if you're working off a floor jack, it's kind of an awkward angle to hammer, but if you cut the tabs deep enough, it should fold over. When you start the CMC cut, it's a little awkward to hold your angle grinder. My biggest suggestion is to get a good grip on that thing. Try to cut a straight line and do not bend the cutting disc into the metal. It'll shatter in your face and you'll be having a bad day. Here I'm using a flap disc to flatten out the cut and clean up the edges so that the plate could slip in. After the cut, I used cardboard to create my own template. Then trace the cardboard onto 1/8 inch steel and cut out your new CMC plate. Line up the new plate to make sure it fits correctly. Little gaps can be filled in with weld. Clean up the plate corners and prep for welding. My cut is more angled, so I'll need to fold the plate back a bit. I tacked the plate on and used a wood bar clamp to push the plate backwards. This isn't ideal, nor is it the correct tool for the job, but it worked. This allowed me to put some tacks to hold the bent steel in place. Then, if everything looks good, do a full weld. I used black paint to cover over my CMC. I used Flex Seal over the folded pinch welds. Painting is an absolute must, or else it'll cause rust over time. Repeat the same steps on the other side. One thing I will note is that I tried to make the two exact CMC plates using one template, but it didn't go as planned. I ended up redoing a new template for the driver's side, and this worked out much better. So a few things that I've learned being a manual and upgrading to a bigger tire. The truck still feels the same off the line. I know a lot of automatic transmission guys complain that their truck feels more sluggish, which I also feel at higher speeds, but it's not too bad at low speeds. The biggest change that I notice is slowly releasing clutch pedal barely moves the car forward. I guess it should be obvious, but it's not something that I had thought about prior to upgrading. Now off the line, I have to give it a little more gas to move it forward. I can't just slowly release the clutch. Overall, I lost about 1 to 2 mpg after this upgrade. Even attempting to drive conservatively at 40 miles per hour city and 70 highway, it only net me around 16 mpg at best. In future videos, I'll be doing a Viper cut to my front bumper. It'll give additional clearance and I think it looks better. So please like and subscribe to follow me for future videos. Thanks for watching.